First, the speaker introduced that Fuji House was a Japanese restaurant full of wonderful aromas and tastes. The restaurant specialized in seafood, and its sushi was the best they could find anywhere. Next, he said that it also offered delicious tempura, several tasty chicken dishes, and a wonderful sweet and sour pork. The restaurant served a variety of vegetarian dishes too, and all the dishes were moderately priced. Uh, after that, after that, he said that Fuji House was open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. It opened early for breakfast on Saturdays and Sundays only. A delicious and reasonable priced business lunch special was available Monday through Friday. Finally, he suggested visiting Fuji House if they liked traditional Japanese cooking with a modern flair.
Number three. First, the speaker announced Fuji House was Japanese restaurant full of wonderful aromas and taste. Uh, then he said the restaurant specializes in seafood and its choice were the best they could find anywhere. Next, he said uh, it also offered delicious tempura, several tasty chicken dishes, and wonderful sweet and sour pork. And the restaurant servers um, um, va- variety of vegetarian dishes too, and all the dishes were moderately surprised. Um, Next, he commented, Fuji House were open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. It opened early for breakfast on Sundays and Saturdays and Sundays only. Did, after that, he commented a delicious and reasonably priced business lunch, especially is were available Monday through Friday. Finally, he has started visiting food house if they like traditional Japanese cooking with the modern flair.
First, the speaker announced Fuji House was a Japanese restaurant full of wonderful aromas and taste. And the restaurant specialized in seafood, and its sushi was the best the customer could find anywhere. That he thought it also offers delicious tempura, several tasty chicken dishes, and a wonderful sweet and short pork. The restaurant served a variety of vegetarian dishes, and all the dishes are moderately fried. After that, he announced his house was open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week, and is opened early for breakfast on Saturdays and Sundays only. A delicious and reasonably fried business lunch special was available Monday through Friday. Finally, he suggested visiting Fuji House if this customer like traditional Japanese cooking with a modern flair. Number four, first, the speaker thanked all of them for coming to the meeting, and he announced it was time for them to elect the Employee of the Year. Then he said that his assistants were then passing out ballot slips uh, and he suggested using one to write down the name of their choices for Employee of the Year. Next, he suggested considering someone who they felt had given 110% of him or herself during the past year. Their choices should be someone who was not only a very hard worker but was also someone who was kind, friendly, and helpful. Uh, After that, he reminded uh, them that the winner would receive a $1,000 cash prize and a 1 week vacation for two in the Bahamas. Finally, he announced he was ready to take nominations from the floor.
The speaker thanked all of them for
Number
coming
4.
to this meeting
First,
and
the speaker thanked people for coming to that meeting. Once again, it was time for
their assistants
their elect employee of the year. He said their assistants were then passing our payroll slip, and he suggested using one to write down the name of their choice for employees of the year. And he might consider consider someone who they feel has given 110% of him or herself during that past year. Next, he said their choice should be someone who was not only a very hard worker, but however it was also someone who was kind, friendly, and helpful. After that, he commented, in case they had forgotten, let he remind that the winner would receive a $1,000 cash prize and a 1 week vacation for two in Bahamas. Finally, he said he was ready to accept nomi- nomination from the floor.
First, the speaker thanked all the from for coming to that meeting, and he told once again it was time for them to choose the Employee of the Year. Next, he told their assistants were passing out carelessly, and he suggested using one to write down the name of their choice for for the Employee of the Year, and considering someone who their field had given 110% of him or herself in that past year. So he told their choice should be someone who was not only a very hard worker, however, was also someone who was kind, friendly, and helpful. The fact that he told is kind the employee they indicate they had forgotten his justice reminding that winner would receive a 100 cash prize and 1 week vacation for two in the Bahamas. Finally, he told he was coming ready to take nominations from the floor. Number 5. First, the speaker said good morning and he introduced himself and their tour. Next, he hoped all of them were wearing comfortable shoes because they could be climbing up and down a great deal and covering a lot of ground during that tour. So, after that, he told they would start their work at the main gate of the city, where the tourists could see the Temple of the Sun, and finish at the main plaza, which the customers could see in the distance behind him. So he asked all of them all stay close together as they proceed, and his justice didn't worry because she could give them plenty of time to ask questions and take pictures of their different stops. Finally, his justice beginning is there was no questions right then.
Number 5. First, the speaker introduced herself and he said he would be their guide that morning at that tour the route of Myrtle Beach. Then he hopped down up there where wearing a comfortable suit because they would be climbing up and down a great deal and covering a lot of ground during that tour. Next, he starting their work at the main gate of the city, where they could see the temple of the saint and finish at the main plazas, with which they could see in the distance behind him. After that, he asks that they all stay close together as we proceed, and he and started the worry. Um, he would give them plenty of time to ask questions and take pictures at their different stops. Nat, finally, he started be, beginning. He started beginning if there was no question right then.
Number 5. First, the speaker said hello to the visitor and she introduced herself. She said that she would be their guide that morning as they toured the routes of Machu Picchu, and she hoped all of them were wearing comfortable shoes because they would be climbing up and down a great deal and covering a lot of ground during that tour. Next, he announced they would start their walk at the main gate of the city, where they would see the temple of the sun, and finish at the main plaza, which they could see in the distance behind her. After that, she suggested staying close together as they proceeded, and not being worried because she would give them plenty of time to ask questions and take pictures at their different stops. Finally, he announced he suggested uh, be following her if there were no questions right then.
Hello.
Number 6. First, the speaker said hello to the the speaker said hello and she introduced herself and her phone number. And she said that she was returning a call from Mr. Max Anderson. She explained she couldn't get his name when he had left his message. Uh, Next, she said that Mr. Max had wanted to verify her home address. So he said that her address was 3647 Delaware Lane, and she suggested being sure to put lane because there was also a Delaware Road and a Delaware Circle. Finally, she suggested calling her after 3 that afternoon if he had any further questions.
Number 6. The speaker said hello and introduced herself and her phone number. and he was returning a call from Mr. Max Amberson or Anderson. Then he explained he couldn't get his name when he had left his message. And next, he said, Mr. Max has wanted to verify her home address, and her address were 3647 Delaware Land. After that, he said, be sure to put land because there were also a Delaware Road and Delaware Circle. Finally, he suggested calling him after 3 this afternoon. If Mr. Amberson or Anderson had any further questions.
First, the speaker said hello and she introduced herself and her phone number. So she thought he was returning a call from Mr. Max Anderson. So she explained she couldn't get his name when he had left his message. So next, she told he had wanted to verify her home address, and her address was 3647 Alexander Lane, and he suggested being sure to put land because there was also a Delaware Road and Delaware Cycle. Finally, he suggested calling him after 3 that afternoon. If Mr. Anderson or Anderson had any questions.
Number 7. First, the speaker introduced the local news. Next, she announced residents of Marlborough County were still without power. The heavy rains and strong winds that swept through the county the night before tore down power lines and left 150,000 residents without electricity. After that, he said that work crew had been working all night to restore power. However, the winds, which remained strong, were making their work difficult. Finally, he said that the power company expected that the western part of the county would be able to turn on the lights that evening, but the rest of the county would be lucky to have electricity by the following night.
First, the speaker introduced the local news, and he announced residents of Buffalo County were still without power because the heavy rains and strong winds that had swept through the country the night before down power lines and had left 115,000 residents without electricity. And after that, he told work crews had been working all night to restore power, but the winds, which remained strong, was making their work difficult. And as that, the power company expected that the western part of the country would be able to turn on their lights that evening. So, finally, he told the rest of the country would be likely to have electricity by the night after.
Number 7. The speaker introduced local news, and he said residents of Marlborough County were still without power. The heavy rains and stronger winds that swept through the country the night before tore down power lines and left 150,000 residents without electricity. Next, he said, workers have been working all night to restore power. However, the winds, which remain strong, were making their work difficult. After that, the power companies expect that the Western part of the country would be able to turn on their lights that evening. However, the rest of the country would be lucky to have electricity by the night after.
Number 8. First, the speaker announced the Lifeforce Fitness Center would open the first of the month, November 1st. That next, she said that their year-long renovation was complete, and to celebrate, they were offering free orientation sessions for the citizens of their community. After that, she suggested coming and seeing their 40,000 square foot complex, taking a swim in the Olympic-sized pool, playing around the golf on their championship golf course, climbing on their 60-foot rock wall. And finally, she said that they were offering 2-for-1 memberships for a limited time, so she suggested bringing a friend to their orientation sessions, and if one of them signed up, the other would receive a club membership free.
First, the speaker announced that the Lord for Business Centers could open the first of the month, November 1st, and that he told the year-long renovations was complete, and to celebrate, they was offering free orientation sessions for the citizens of their community. Finally, after that, his justice coming and seeing them 40,000 square foot complex and taking a swim in their Olympic-sized pool, playing a crowd golf on their championship golf course, and climbing on their 60-foot rock wall. Finally, he told he was offering 2-for-1 memberships, so he suggested bringing a friend to their orientation sessions. If one of them signs up, the other would receive a club membership free.
The speaker announced the Lafrost Fitness Center would open the first of the month, November 1. Then, the speaker said that year-long renovation was complete and celebrate. They were offering free orientation session for the citizens of their community. Next, next, come and see their 40 40,000 square foot complex. Take a swim in the Olympic pool. Play around a golf on their championship golf course. Um, after that, he said, climb on their city foot rock wall for a limited time. They were offering 2-for-1 membership. Um, Finally, he said, bring a friend to their orientation session. If one of their sign up, the other would receive a club membership free.